I never saw anybody who was doing stuff for Township in 3D at the time. I was really, really impressed.
Yangichaza ngathi elokishini manje abaningi batoyithanda ngoba timvoto esikhothani sidatela elokishini vele sihlale sibabona.
Batshele phale lapho yithi ikhothane zangempela siyafika sithatha over si hostile. I am 25 years old. I am a 3D animator. I'm from Midlands, Soweto. And yeah, in short, I do Popeyes.
Igama lami uMelikhaya Nhlangeni, originally in Sugehini, Grahamstown in the Eastern Cape. I'm 26. Umsebenzi wami the animator or I'm a rigger.
Bengithanda ukudlala mangikhula, you know, so it was one of those things ukuthi there's a point where make uke wathenga icomputer, you know, bengidlala amagame langapheli.
Sikhule singama introvert besingasiwe umfana laba senza kudlala ngaphandle kakhulu besidlala ekhaya ejardini besithanza ukudraw sonke actually. Mhlawumbe mina I would draw timvata bo fashion design and then I draw timvela kati draw wako ke, but yeah yena kakhulu bekathanza ukudraw.
Primary school bengingumntu uhleli nje yabo udrosha abantu uhleli eclassini with ichomi zami and then would look at the teacher and then my friend would say ukuthi khazobona fast and then I'll do something like a quick doodle and we'll pass it around the class and we'll laugh about it.
And this is something that we picked up later, which was very artistic. Ngiyakhumbula sesafunda high school. He used to do some work with one of the television studios in Linden.
In 3, 2, 1.
Hi, I'm Robin Shubatsky.
And I am Don Frank. Brain fart. Don't you hate those?
And at that point, we didn't quite really pay attention to where this was going. Until later, I gave a metric and we expressed that he would like to do animation. And I have to say, at that time, we were shocked. Because first of all, basically, I was buying an animation team as parents.
I went to Boston, applied, they called me and then they said, okay, cool, you've been accepted. And that was me starting animation at Boston. And then when I started, it was a completely different world. It's not what I expected. We were using computers, we were doing things in 3D space, something that I've never done in my life because I was like traditional pen and paper. And I didn't have a style, I didn't have the rules. They taught me the principles and then, yeah, and today we have his Khotanezi too. Kote Kotai.
Well, it started
2014,
somewhere lapho yaqala khona, and it was one of those ideas would bounce around.
The reason it started is because he was doing something ebengafuna ukuyenza, and then nami where I worked, because it was where I was my first job, and I wasn't really doing into like I wanted to do, because I've always wanted to do either modeling or rigging. So I wasn't doing any of those.
How I met Linton, which is my point of contact to Machita, is in 2014 when I was working at a company called Luma. He used to do animation there, and I used to see this guy Oshapang 3D animation for Kokasi. You know, Machita, he used to have this character called, I think he labeled it Shaw Boy. It was a 3D animated, a 3D character, but done in CG and for Kasi and wearing sport and that type of thing attracted me to his work, and I was like, yo, guy, there's more.
So the idea of us doing Kote Kotayo was like a passion project. It was like, Donna, let's do something where we can do what we want to do. Let's polish up on what, we're doing, because industry is improving every day. There's new stuff, there's new ways to do things. So let's not sit down and get stale. Let's get fresh. I sense something. Let's just keep up busy. Let's keep our skills up to scratch.
Siyaphunzana ngibona ngathi ngithukile ngibona into lesiphethe style umce nomswengo nangazange nazibona
batshele pale nami yithi ikhothane zami impela siyafika sithatha over
hostile take over mntwana yami izinto zabantu nangazange wazibona steering yimi
yizo sifuna mina jealous sikwali umona phansi asina credit asina debit siphethe cash paid ama-1,000. So I wanted to be like make cartoons that like other kids labafana nami could actually and actually relate with, not necessarily relate with, but actually find some sort of common ground with them. And this is made for me, specifically tailor-made,
So after Stethile no Hlanganani bana, this is how the story is gonna go. So when the characters are two characters izokwenza into njena, and then the other one izokwenza into njena. We split up. Wahamba with designer a character Ukwinya, and then Nami I went to design Upulet.
This is Ukwinya, and this is Upulet. Ukwinya being the chubby Skotani that is a friend of Upulet. Is basically hype man Upulet. It's like that friend that you have that like supports you in a way.
After talking about, okay, this is what we're doing, this is what we're gonna call it, this is what the characters are gonna look like. Hlanganani went, he said, okay, cool, I'm gonna design a character based on, his Inas Kotan, and then I'm gonna do the same with my Inas Kotan.
When we pitched the idea to each other, it was like, this is it. This is the one we wanna sort of start with, and this is the one it's gonna draw people's attention,
Yangichaza ngathi elokishini manje abaningi batoyithanda ngoba timvo tetsikhothani sitatela elokishini vele sihlale sibabona. So mangiyibona I thought to myself, okay, this is a good idea. I'm sure ingasebenza abantu batoyijabulela, especially if it has a comedic side to it.
His characters were centered around Township, and which was, I was coming from a background where we just did stuff for commercials and some were international clients, but I never saw anybody who was doing stuff for Township in 3D at the time, and I was really impressed. I was really, really impressed.
yazi wena kwini small lotas lento yakho take bonus
mara na yazi imi last number ikhothani
last number maybe last number 6.
As soon as we put up the first images, next thing we know, like we created a Facebook page. Abantu were like on our case. My likes, people sharing the thing.
And when I saw it, I was just sharing it with everybody that I knew, man.
It was something that they were consistently. So it was quite clear about interest. And when I see their first products, and I bought and I'm going to no, these guys really mean business.
I think before we started this project, actually, I was in that point to I was second guessing my career choice or my life choices. I was like, what am I doing here? Like honestly, I was like, yo. And then when this project came alive, it was like an electricity shock to both of us, I think, because Mal also was in the same sort of headspace.
It's like after, I don't know, I think 3-4 nights in a row of getting 2 hours of sleep only, like you start thinking to yourself, maybe I'm in the wrong business. Kote Kotayo is what keeps me going, I would say, because work, then I know I'm looking at these two guys, and I know, like, if Upulet opens his mouth, Ukunya opens his mouth, whatever they say, like, even though we writing everything, whatever Pumalap, when I see it, like, coming from them, so in that like we're gonna kill ourselves.
Queen, stool, my child. Bonisa, boy, bed. Tell her this thing. Tell boy, bed, stool. Queen, when's I need you? I see one then. Scott is Marawan.
Hard, yeah, situation in
Manje. But Malambi, I'm your Kai. He, Siajiva, Siakot, pair. Full stop, period, end of story.
Hard, boy. Madam Nan dieting.
They really love what they're doing. And like we've always positioned ourselves as parents, let's just support what they do because it looks like it's something that they're passionate about. And hey, why not?
it was only natural for us to actually start something like this or start something together. It wasn't something that was hard for us to find common ground to meet. It was just, okay, you good at this, you good at that, as tangane, you know.
While you're still in school, they teach you uspane in teams. So how difficult it is that you need to always manage people's expectations. But they used to have battles in terms of creativity.
When he locks himself away in the room, he works long hours. I mean, you go to the bathroom at 2 a.m., the light is on. Weekend, same thing. He doesn't have much of a social life, I think, because of this thing, passion. I remember when, a few years ago, he buy a computer for up in Lincoln. I mean, very quickly that computer became his.
Animation, computer, you need to have art. If I were to explain what Bomel and Linton are doing, get 3D. So that 3D is like computer.
And then it goes to modeling, where you create the characters in 3D. It's like playing around with clay, but in the computer. And then it goes to rigging. Rigging is setting up bones and making it able to sort of move, you know.
The coolest part of the pipeline.
Because it does rigging.
So basically rigging is, I like to call it, you breathing life into the character. So you put in the skeleton, which will allow it to move.
So this is very important to get it right. It makes the pipeline to be simple, you know. If you have a good rig, you'll spend less time animating, in a sense. You won't be doing into that. A rig should sort of be doing for you, you know. So one rigger grand, like Umal gives us very good rigs. Umal is actually the Origa, you know. So
it's full-time job. It's money.
Oh yes, it is full-time job. It's like he's employed to be a professional rigger. So each time he'll go through a rigorous process of trying to get the perfect sort of fit with Izinto, because if he does get it wrong, it's gonna delay us. It's gonna push Izinto back. So you kind of want to make sure you're doing this part right. Otherwise, yeah.
So like basically for this hand that I'm doing right now, for this finger, it could take me an hour to rig it properly, but right now I have this this free app that I'm using just to place joints, and then when I generate it, it'll just give me exactly what I want. So this process right here could take me half a day just to get it sorted. Like to have everything aligned. You want to have like the joint in the right place for the elbow in the right place, the shoulder where the shoulder would pivot from, and then the clavicle where you would move your clavicle, and then you get these guys here for the chest.
This takes some time. It's not something that's
not easy.
Like you just sit there and it's like automated because it's on the computer. No, it's actual physical work. You know, it's you have to process all this and make sure that you're doing it right, because in like a character one, you only want to do it once. And do things again because it's not working right. Because Umel is just rigging, and then when he gets to animating, and which is both of us animating, is Guti. You're gonna realize something is wrong the way. So this is where experience comes in. Where Umel, when he's created something and he realizes into a corner is funny the way, what he's gonna do, he's gonna actually. Like we're gonna have some troubleshooting. Then I send me the rig, and then I'm trying to purposely break it and to see Guti I spanning whoopy so that he can just redo that quick before Sia Pambi. Then getting to the part where we've set up shots, we've added the characters, and you start animating and you realize with like umzima maybe umkhaba move the way I move on corner. In the case of Ukuya, the chubby character that we have, Agachigili the way is corner. So that needs to be figured out long before we move. Then we TC OVL, and then we're gonna basically wait for this whole process. Not necessarily I want, but you wanna do it good and
do it right. And yeah. Never have to come back to it.
Basically.
Because this is a lot of time.
Meanwhile, there's rigging, there's also texturing, but sometimes it happens after or before. It does not necessarily matter sometimes, you know? And it gets to the point where when it's texturing, which is the coolest, and
rigging.
It gets to texturing, which is the colors, you know, how it sort of interacts with the lights, you know, and then you get to the point where all that is done. You have your characters, you have your sets, you have your environment, and then you get to the point where there's the shot layout. and then your shot layout is with what is on screen. Everything on screen, from the smallest thing to the biggest thing, is designed to make you feel a certain way. It's designed to give an audience information.
There's this thing called rendering. So it's basically you're making the final image and making it look good. That Linton is brilliant at that, eh?
In a professional environment like the big studios, they'll spend 18 hours on just one frame, not 1 second, one frame, which is 20. You need 24 for those other frames to create 1 second. You know,
you have like 120 minutes.
Yeah. Then you have 120 minutes in a movie, and then you realize that these guys they're not playing around. You know, it's big time studios. So after that, that's when audio audio comes on, sound effects. You know, if there's no voices, there's sound effects. Voices are done at the beginning when layout and storyboarding is done, and then those come in, and then there's final mastering, and then it's almost ready to go live.
No, you remember the first one?
Keep it low.
Keep it the same way as the first one, but you're making the line longer.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let me count you, bro. Chill. 3, 2, 1.
Ha, bullets. Ngakutshela masingafika la sibaqosela ngesimiphuka amalume ngekwazi ukuthi kufikane.
Okay, cool.
Are you good?
I'm happy.
Okay, happy. We didn't know what we were going to be the cover article for eVerve or the cover article for like a lifestyle sort of thing on the newspaper, you know. So we were like, yo.
They put us on the front page.
Yeah.
Office Star, designing Daba as well.
We're here by the recording studio, and we're going to be recording with them kids, just showing them how we sort of go about recording voiceovers.
I've never worked with children before. But should be fun. Should be interesting. You guys are here because you like animation, right? What's your favorite animation movie?
Regular show. Oh, regular show.
Regular show. Oh, regular show. And this one. Wena Cheetah? Spider-Man. Wena?
Teen Titans.
Teen Titans. Wena?
Batman.
None of you guys say the Kote time, but anyway, okay, cool. Okay, today you're gonna create your own character.
So guys, what we want to do today is make our own cartoons that are in our heads, but try to keep it in a local genre.
Okay, I'm just gonna put the silhouette, and then you guys are just gonna start working with it. So that's the body, that's the leg. Come, you add something. Draw anything, how you are, how you want the eyes to be. Remember, this is the body and this is the face. Just put anything, anyway.
You give him eyes, what do you want to give him?
You want to draw, you'll draw next.
Okay, you'll draw next.
Put something. Okay, he's got eyes.
Okay, you can give him hands.
Anything. There's a
That's
mouth.
a mouth.
Okay, cool.
It's giving them hands or arms.
Give her, yeah. Don't forget the fingers.
So what are you giving him?
Bow tie.
Oh, bow tie eyes.
When you create a character, you need to like imagine what they look like, which is what we just did. You need to imagine how they sound, the way they talk, and maybe he talks and he's got a weird voice like, "Hi guys, you know, he walks around. I'm Mr. Patel. Hey, this is how I talk," kind of thing. You know? So you need to be creative. Animators are called closet actors. So now everybody's got the rough idea what they want to say. We're gonna go record.
We are recording a session with Umel, but he's just doing a test just to make sure when you guys get in, it sounds perfect, you know? I need to give him, signal him, so...
Molweni emakhaya, sharp kunjani? Bona ngathi ngithukile. Ngibona into eziphatha style, umcepho, umswengo. Into ngazange nazibona.
Cool. December, uzoqala ne? Ungena la, Mel, coach him through it.
All right, cool.
Hey, yo.
When you talk, he's gonna give you a signal to go. When you talk, and then just hit it.
Okay, just this Kotane line.
Just this Kotane line, anything, no crossing.
You ready?
Eyo, asingene yini mfethu sijabule ngathi sizovadile njani mara ona on your shoes asiyenze lento leso ngcono sikhipha ama-sneakers wethu then sibayele abasho edoda.
All right, picture yourself, you're a girl, you're missing a shoe, you're panicking.
Yo, Zanele, suphi isicathulo sami, ngifuna isicathulo sami. Please, angisithole ngilate, ngicela isicathulo sami.
Ma, maybe kushoda something.
Yazi belo imali yami iyashoda lana. Futhi leyo mazinga abolile ongathi umshothisa imali yami. Cela ngiyiseshebile, otherwise yangiyele emuva. Akunamuntu emsebenzini imali yami ayishoda.
Everything's going well, you know, they just having fun. We're trying to get them out of their comfort zone, which is a bit difficult. It is for everyone, but yeah, everything's going good so far. Okay, we're gonna do the gakok. Did you hear the gakok?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You walked in, house is dirty, then you start complaining.
So far, it's going quite well. Umal is coaching them through it. He's basically showing them how to get into character. Umal is actually quite good at that, and yeah, and he seems to be coaching them quite well.
Just remember to breathe when you talk normally, like, you know, but be ukok.
Nganzami kodwa ngibuye clinic angiphekanga angiklinanga impahla zigcwele la kumele ngiphuze amapilisi ngizowaphuza ngani amapilisi sisami singa kodwa why ngizowadla kanjani amapilisi ngingadlanga.
It's a nice one, eh?
Why are you covering your face? That was good. She's gone, bro.
Kumnandi sifunde nge-animation safunda ukuthi ku-animation kunezinto different like yenza ama-voice overs then ukwazi u-editha from lezi ama-mistakes enwayenzile if nenza ama-voices.
The first time when I did it, I didn't enjoy it. Like mangizimamela bengafeel as the character ebathe ngibe yiyo. And then the second time, yeah, ngifeelile ukuthi ngi-character. So I enjoyed it more the second time.
Now that ndibona ukuthi this is a career, this is business, I'd like to see them grow. And I think le minyaka edlule 2-3 years, I think they've gained working experience now. Now I've got a little bit of confidence because they can stand on their own. I think about development networks in the industry. I would like to see them going out on their own, but study business here because that's the type of speak they speak, that they want one day to start their own setup.
Well, I see them hopefully one day making a big movie out of animation. Even like for Dragon Ball Z, we used to love it. So if they can do a nice movie, it would be cool.
To the young ones out there, whether it's in Piatweba, you're doing music, we writer, or anything really you're interested in, just keep doing what you do. Because you never know where it's gonna put you one day. Because I used to draw up on the class in Sakula, and then here I am, I'm doing it as a full-time job.
Into engifuna ukutshela i-youth ukuthi I mean just do impression yakho man and prioritize. Wenza into oyithandayo and just put in the time. At some point you're gonna get good at it.